Deep within a bleak and dismal swamp, hidden beneath its murky waters, lies the headquarters of the most sinister villains of all time. A Legion of Doom.
Today we're going to start on blueprints from this picture of the Legion of Doom, Doom. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and see what we can get into this one. And once again, I'm just going. This thing is symmetrical. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to go ahead and take this one picture and do what we need to do. Cut that noisy thing down. Alright. And we're going to turn around. We're just going to upscale something. As usual, we're going to stick to the 33 centimeter. That way my building here don't get filled up. So we'll go 17.5 centimeters wide. So let's just go ahead and do a little figuring. Well, if we double it up, it'll be 35, so that'll be close enough. So let's get started. Well, let's go ahead and pull out our trusty compass, pencil. And since it's 17.5 and we're doubling it, we'll just go ahead and get started. And it will be, this is the size we'll use for a pattern. So that will be the bottom. We will work on it. Alright, while we're here, we're just going to go ahead and make the one of the braces for the up top. So we'll just go ahead and mosey on over, and that will be 9.5. So 9.5 will be 19. So go up, make this a square at 19. And 19. So we'll go in here, 17.5, we'll make our center line. Center line mess before we cut it out, because the size of the paper actually hold everything in place. Let's see, 17. And of course, we got more crackhead roaming around. And with a tiny little hole, you can go ahead and there we go. So we'll go ahead and cut this pattern out. What we're going to do is finish out our pattern for the one of the ribs that will be the vertical height. And here, as you'll notice, this sticks in, so I've drawn lines where I can measure. I'm going to have to recut this pattern, but that's no biggie. And so it'll be 15, that means 30. So real quick, we'll just, what I'm going to do real quick right here is we're just going to mark it at 15. Straight edge. Run it up and down. And we're just going to go ahead and fold this on the line. They use their 900-foot long. Use their 900-foot long scissors and cut. Well, snip. Go ahead and what I'm going to do is, ain't that something? Well, that's kind of odd that that protractor would fit perfectly on that. Well, and what I'm going to do is basically just hand sketch. So it's well, that's actually that actually took a lot less time than I thought. So go ahead and, like I said, this is going to be another non-patterned creation. So that's what we're going to do. Alright. And that little bit of work. Looks like it's going to be a little bit too high, but I'll make out my patterns and I'll do the cardboard patterns and we'll come back and see what we can do for assembly. With this pattern, I've marked, I don't know if you can see them, little tiny arrows here in the four corners. And what I've done in the mark of the compass, I've poked the cardboard. That way I can line everything up if something moves. And then go ahead and just circle. And what I've done, I've just went ahead and put one mark through. That way, line up everything. Stays nice and level. I do all this before the washer tears the building apart. And I do it that way in case something messes up. I already have my lines. That way it's, it's gonna, so I can line up. Well, it's not going to exactly work, but you get the idea. So we'll go ahead and make these real quick. Same thing, we'll just mark off the lines, trace, pressure pattern. And what I'm going to do here before I come back is I'm going to go ahead and cut. I'm going to say a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of this part. That way we can go ahead and get our main bubble made. I'm going to put 4 pieces down, so I need 8 lines. What I forgot to do, what I'm going to do now, is I'm going to go ahead, and since this bubble part is not as big as the base, I'm just going to go ahead and jump in here, and I'm only going to do it on one side, but I'm just going to go ahead and jump and make a mark. We're just going to go ahead, jump in here real quick, because if you do this, don't do like me and get in the middle of it, then remember, oh no, I need to do X, Y, Z. We'll go ahead and around us a circle. Alright, now that we've done this before we started cutting, we can go ahead and lay this, stand it up. Of course, it's funny, I got bent the paper, but it actually does match up here. I don't know if you can see that because of the light. That way, we can go ahead and put our pieces out and get this glued together. Alright, I'll try not to be back until I have these pieces worked out. But like I said, make your grid for your pieces. And what I'm going to do is just have one centerpiece to be one piece, and the rest of them I'm just going to cut them into squares like this. So, like that. So we'll be back as soon as I get that cut out. Alright, we're back, and we're going to see if we can put together the beginnings of the Hall of Doom. Got my patterns, I've got my grid work laid out, and I've made a center line here, because what I'm going to do, the center line, is because we want this thing to be looking like an X, but the problem is, how do we do that? So we fix that real quick, real simple. Well, magic razor blade. We're going to lightly score on the line. And I'm probably going to be better off doing this one at a time instead of trying to do them all. And hello, little spider. As he's confused. We score this, we just break it in half. And what we're going to do is we're still going to put these on the lines like this. That way, it makes things a lot easier. Well, I don't see no blood and guts. I don't reckon I killed the spider. He ain't bothering me. Alright, let's move on. We're going to do these. Like I said, just do it real lightly. But you can, if you want to, you can just completely cut them in two. You'll just have to glue 8 pieces down instead of 4. What I do, if you can just see that one, you just lay your blade and let it hop. You'll feel it go hop, 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 hop. Gently and snap. Well, I thought I seen a spider. And what I'm going to do now, whip out the magic bottle of glue, is I'm going to go ahead, and since these have little slots, I'm just going to go ahead and put some glue down here. and go ahead and fill in my slot, and this will do like in other videos. You fill up, and when you turn it upside down, the gravity will give you a better seal, which really ain't needed, because when this stuff here dries, it's real hard to get off, because it absolutely loves cardboard. Well, turn it around where I can see it, and just line it up with your circle. Alright. Alright. And of course it's going to move. Take a couple of pieces, small pieces of tape. Since this one is already seems to want to stick, grab our trusty screwdriver and rub that down. What I'm going to do is put these pieces of tape toward the back, because toward the front, with it being still held together, that should hold it in place. But just going to go ahead and, alright, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put tape on both sides instead of just one. That's just to hold it. And what I'm going to do is put it in about 1 inch in. That way I can build around it and not worry about it. Alright. So just go ahead and let the tape go ahead and mash it flat with my finger. There we go, and it fits. So we're going to go ahead and put this one in place, and then when we come back, I'll have all 4 pieces of cardboard put down, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can't go ahead and make the dome complete. We're going to try to make, on the pattern, make the spacing between these eyeballs. There's 6 eyeballs on the ship, so what I'm going to do right now is just quickly figure up the angle, and then go ahead and make the pattern, because right now I'm waiting for the glue to dry, so I figured I'd go ahead and do this. I already have the compass set up, so we'll just make a circle. And I'm using the slick side on this, and it may be kind of hard to see because I messed up on the other side. So, alright, there we go, circle. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to line up. I'm actually going to take an ink pen, or my little magic marker. I'm going to line up through, and what I'm going to do is just make one line. And what I'm going to do for that line is I'm going to turn around and, well, I'm going to start off from here, line up my whole circle, and going to make 60, 120, and 180. Well, that being done, alright. Hopefully this will work. And 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to go ahead and draw me a line from point to point. Go ahead and finish my hexagon. Like I said, I'm just right now trying to work pattern. When I get through with this pattern, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and watch me some Super Friends to make sure everything looks hunky-dory. Hope anyway, so. Alright. Don't tell me. Alright, now that we have our pattern, I'll be right back. Alright, you can see the problem. I have 8 pieces and I have 6 spaces. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is when this thing gets dry, before I can move on to figuring out this angle, before I go on moving out these angles for the eyes, I need to fix this and make it round. So I'll get back to that later. So when I get back, we'll start to work on the bubble top. Got our basic shape of the Hall of Doom. Okay. What we're going to do, what I've already started, is I'm going to fill in as much as I can here. And what I've done is just took this, made it as wide as my ruler, and made sure that I've bent. As you can see here, this fits to the curve. What I did, I've just taken, and on the edge of the disc, I've just pulled down, and what it does, you can see it gives it a round shape. So what I do here is just take this and kind of guesstimate a mark right here. What I've done to this, I've used a line at the base and I taped it in place and glued it. Right here, this is dry, so we're going to go ahead and make the mark, cut, and we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to use the bottom as a base. So what we're going to do on this piece here, go ahead and run us a piece. I'm going to run a piece here. Alright, what I'll do now is get some tape, sling glue everywhere. Right now I'm just going to go ahead and set that in place while I get my glue, or get my tape. What I'm going to do here is go ahead and match that up. And then what I'm going to do here, same thing here, I'm just going to, but here I'm going to match it up. Alright, there. What I'm going to do here is match them up and make sure the tape holds. I'm just going to go ahead and smear that tape all over the line. Excuse me, put extra tape here. That way this edge will line up with the curvature here. And this is going to take a lot longer. It's going to take a lot longer to get it right, but I'm going to go ahead and right here, just a hair smaller, so go ahead and put a little extra glue at the ends. And once again, with this here has a small trench, or goes down in here, so you put a little extra. So just go ahead and what I'm going to do here, since it starts to get little, I'm going to go ahead and make me a mark here. It's going to be a small angle, so we'll cut that small angle, line up these two dots. And once again, we'll go ahead and fix this piece, just lay it there. And what we'll do here, same thing with the glue, or with the tape. Go ahead and line everything up. Just to make sure that's. And right here, if you can see, I cut it just a bit short again, right here. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and use my tape, get it close. Then I'm going to use another piece of tape here. That way it lines up with the vertical part. And then I'm going to go inside the tape. I don't know if you can't see this. I'm going to put a glob right there. That way it'll run down and seal. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this one piece, and it's decent enough. It's made that one angle. So do the same thing here. Mark it. Line it up. Snip it. Test fit. Fill a little trench up there. Let's see. Well, let me do this real quick. I'm going to take a quick peek. Just had to make sure that everything was still viable as far as putting everything out that far. I want everything in frame. And with this tiny piece of tape in the way, I'll go ahead and put that there. I'll go ahead and put this tape here. And we'll finish off this piece. Put our tape here. Don't push too hard, because if you push too hard, everything will be pushed in. So there we go. We're going to go ahead and finish out the other 7 sections, and then when we come back, we'll use our measurements from our hexagonal pattern to line up, and we'll start making the eyes. Just a quick update. This is half of it done. That's what it looks like. A lot of tape, a lot of cardboard, and you can tell from the white, the glue is still wet, so I'm just gonna right now take this thing, set it to the side, and move on to one of the other 40 projects I'll give. Like I said, this is just a quick update. We're getting there. Halfway done. Alright, I finally got everything made. I actually have a nice solid dome here all the way around. I don't know why I took more of glue, which is still wet in places, or cardboard, but we're going to go ahead. What we're going to do is, like I said, I'm going to have 6 of these eyes around the perimeter. So what I've done, went ahead and made a hexagonal pattern, and I'm going to measure how far it is between points on the curve. And right now what I'm going to do in this little short video is I'm just going to go ahead and measure and mark those on the thing here. Alright, give me 1 second. Head step away, grab me a measuring tool. We're going to set this to the side. And what we're going to do, if I had made this in 6 sections instead of 8, I could have just used the corners. But since once again I'm not using blueprints to copy like I am the Brainiac ship, I'm just going to crack open Mountain Dew and whoop out my strange looking measuring tape there. Alright, what we're going to do is simple. It's a kind of a quick, easy way to measure. So what we're going to do is go see what that cat's into. Give me 1 second. Alright, let's see. Yeah. I don't know if you can. It's a little dark. With the hexagon inside the circle, that'll give us our 6 equal sides, which is 60 degrees out of a 360 degrees circle. But this, we're not going to need the flat spot, we're going to need the round edge. So to make things simple, I'm just going to lay right here. I'm just going to go ahead and lay the weed eater line. Line it up. And go ahead and make my mark. And just we'll go ahead and lay this one. Yep. Alright. Making a mark on here, this will be our line that we will use to go around. So what we're going to do, take the magic marker, go ahead and pick that. This will be our starting point. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and lay down at our starting line, mark it off. And you can do this with a piece of string or something, or wire. I just had laying weed eater wire laying on the floor, so I grabbed one and grabbed the hook. Huh. That's kind of odd that the 8 different segments almost lines up with the 6. So, well, of course we have pieces flying everywhere. But yeah, we're just going to make this quick little video. And then when I come back, we're going to go ahead and make the eyes. But what I'm going to do before I actually come back and what I'm going to do, there we go. What I'm going to do is turn around and I'm going to go ahead and paper this, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the eye sockets, for lack of a better term. The face, I'm going to put the face on top of the newspaper. What we're going to do today is we're going to make this mouthpiece, for lack of a better term. It'll be triangular shape, will be 6 pieces, and real quick, I've already got the main dome is already paper mache, so we can go ahead and glue the mouthpieces around, and we don't have to worry about going back later and paper macheing. What I've done real quick is measured this, and it's just by 2, so this will be 15.5 by 4, so we'll just go ahead and jump into this. I already know this is 15.5, so what we'll do real quick is just jump down. Well, we're going to do actually start here, go up to 8 from 4 to 8, because that should be a straight line, and we'll just jump down here. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 6 is just because the 2 is hanging over. Alright, go ahead and find them all. Then we'll use our 1.5 long scissors. Make one cut. And there's that sticker, which ain't going to bother us today. Make one cut. Cuts. And this is 15.5. And what I'm going to do, since I'm just going to fold it in half. And then since we have it folded up in half, you can do one or two things. What I'm going to do, instead of worrying about drawing lines, make sure everything lines up. Both the corners line up. Line it up and snip away. And there will be our piece. Move these. Get the scrap out of the way, that way you don't get confused. Go ahead, I'm going to do real quick before I turn. What I've done is I've made arrows inwards will be the line. The line out is the center line of the mouth. So we just kind of line it up real quick. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but that does look good. So we're going to go ahead and set it to the side. Look around, grab us some cardboard. Well, we're going to do this as thin and plastic coated on one side. This is still usable. But I'm just going to go ahead and grab me a piece where I can keep everything the same uniform width. So we dig in the junk box here. Well, make sure we're not flinging stuff on the floor. Trip over stuff. Try not to step on a cat. Alright. What I'm going to do here real quick is something simple. I'm going to do say cardboard, just make a giant diamond. There's one. What I'm going to do, this is just me, I'm going to line up all these lines. I'm just going to line everything up. Wintertime, cats are sick. This comes out as a weird looking shape, but one, two, three, four, five. Oop. Just go ahead and try to save as much cardboard as you can. What I'll do is just one, two, three, four, five, six. I'm doing this many because I don't know whether one will look good or two will look good, so if I go ahead and draw out the patterns, if I don't double the cardboard, I can always use it for something else. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got 8. Youngin's getting up. Alright, I'll cut these out, and then we'll assemble them when we get back. Alright, we're back. We've got a good many patterns out. Make sure I move Woody here. And with this being a round surface, I'm going to do like I did here. I'm just going to take and bend the cardboard for it to wrap around here. So, go ahead and look at that. And I'm going to go ahead and do two. Line everything up. It looks pretty decent, but I'm going to go ahead and double it up. So what I'll do now is I'll just go ahead and glue these together real quick. I'll find the glue bottle. Alright. Going to go ahead and all those wrinkle spots, just going to go ahead and give it kind of a good coating. And we're going to go ahead and line the lines up. What I'm going to do here is go ahead and do the second piece. Line up everything up front. And then what I'm going to do to save myself some aggravation, I'm just going to go ahead and, well, Make sure everything's in place, then tape it. And with this thing already having dry glue on it, it actually will make it easier it'll make it easier for this tape to come off when I pull it back off. But right now, that sits like this. So we're going to let this dry. When I come back, I'm going to have all of these, and then we'll move on to the eye part. Right now, we're going to work on this little edge here, which actually would look like this when completed. It's basically going to look like a little brace, and I'm going to wind up taking the pattern, which I just held upside down, taking the pattern, and it's going to wind up looking give or take like this. I did this a second ago. The camera didn't exactly like me too good. So on this one, which since we have two, we're just going to go ahead and use this pattern for the height, and we're going to make a small brace to stick out. And I'm going to do that real quick. And we're going to get that done, then I'm going to glue that piece on. Then when I come back, I'm going to have all the face plates and the little braces. Then we'll work on putting the angle on here. But right now, we're just going to go ahead, and we know how high it is. And right there, I just kind of guesstimated. I know that's way longer than it's supposed to be, and I'm going to use this for a... So, just like I said, no blueprints. We're going to guess it and make it go from there. I'm going to mark a 4. That way we'll know how high it's supposed to be and what side goes toward the actual wall. So, I'll just go ahead. Go ahead and pop that out. And we'll move Woody. I'll just line this up at the line like this. Well, and go ahead and make a mark. Just gonna go ahead and grab side of the pattern for our straight edge. Quick line. Grab Woody. And with these, I'm not gonna, since I'm starting to use different thicknesses of cardboard, I'm just going to go ahead and do each one of these one piece at a time instead of doing them all at one time. Alright. Alright. Well, look pretty good, so we'll just go ahead. Go ahead and glue it up. Put it on the line. Line it up. And no tape needed. And this is what it looks like. Like I said, we'll come back later, and when we come back, we'll have all of these done, and we'll go ahead and make the piece that goes out toward the front, because this actually sticks out. What we're going to do real quick is I'm just going to go ahead and I've actually cut these out of a dollar sandwich box. A little pattern. I just use the same pattern for the first part of the grill. And what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to do this one like this. Just going to glue that one on real quick. And then when we come back after that, as I keep saying, we'll work on the eyes after this. So, number one. So let's go ahead and you can see here the way the thing is. If you try to, looks like mustache instead of the actual piece, so they go one way. And what I'm going to do right now is just is like normal, just go ahead and I'm just going to glue up the middle of that and go ahead and we're just going to do this one piece, then I'll go ahead instead of wasting time. Of course it's not going to stay, so we, as usual, going to go ahead and use some of the 845 miles of tape. So we're just going to go ahead and tape this one as usual. Tape it there. I'll go ahead and tape it here. Oh. Go ahead and make sure that's pressed down in the middle. And try to keep them sliding across the table. Alright. Okay. That looks kind of weird. So we'll just pull that up. Make sure everything's pressed together. There we go. Alright. There's the first piece. And like I said, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of the other 5 on. I'm going to put the other 5 on, and when I come back, they too will be papered up, and we'll be ready to finally move on to the eyes. And what we're going to do here is just use this piece of paper. And we're going to go ahead and, since we have these 2 pieces here, we're going to use the pattern for the grill piece. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and use a straight edge, and we're going to line up our pattern for the teeth or grill. I'm doing this on paper because I went ahead and messed up another video where I did it on poster board. So, and we're not exactly going to need the other half of this since it's not an actual pattern. So it's just as good. And what I've done is measured this and come up with a 10 millimeter height. So what I did, I'm just going to go ahead and run everything up. And what I did, I hand drew this pattern here. As you can see, it touches the tops. And after kind of hand drawing it and taking my time, where it looked pretty good, I cut this pattern out. And now we have this pattern. We have this pattern here, which would consist of the 2 grills and the eyepiece, which I've already done and on the poster board already. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and cut the eyepiece out. Alright. Go ahead and cut this out. Alright, let me run real quick and grab the Hollow Doom. Get okay. I've marked this one, which one I want to be the front. And what we're going to do is go ahead and lay this piece in. And we're kind of just going to lay it there for the meantime. Well, as you can see, there's one. And then we just flip it over for the next one. We'll have her two. So we'll go ahead and looks like it'll be alright. Let's go ahead and step away again and dig out some cardboard. Just a second. Alrighty. And I think this will be, yeah, it'll be big enough. So we're going to go ahead and make sure when you do this, make sure your holes are vertical to your pattern. That way you can turn around and kind of roll them out to make them be able to fit with the contour of the outer shell. And we have one. Well, oh, there we go. Whew. That'll work. And there we go. Alright, I'm going to step aside real quick. Going to cut these patterns out and we'll be right back. Alright. Let's move this out of the way. I forgot I had half the lights cut off, so let's try that again. Alright. What I'm going to do is these patterns. Go ahead and line these up over here. And they look pretty neat. I'm just going to go ahead and fold these up, or they'll fold these where they'll it's not perfect. Yeah, it's not perfect, but I'm not gonna complain too much. So there's one. Well, let's see. Uh-oh. Go ahead and fold these out, round up around the top, and well, kind of overlaps a little there. Oh, I can fix that real quick. out some scissors. See how that works. Everything around here is just, well, that's close enough. Right now, you can go back and fix it like I'm going to do. Hold on one second here. Let's see. There you go. We're getting there. I know that looks tacky, but alright, when we get through next time, we'll have all these pieces put on, and then we'll start working on the bottom. Alright, just a little heads up. When placing the eyepiece here, folding didn't work because it was straight, and you have to have this laid back against the rounded edge. So what I did was I just took the razor blade and split it vertically, and to get it to mold to the back, I also did it horizontally, so you'll have little squares. And what I did here, to keep the tape from peeling off the cardboard like it did in the other part, I went ahead and placed a piece of tape here. That way when I glue it, I can tape onto the tape, and I can remove that tape safely without tearing up the piece. Just a little heads up. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do this base, and long story short, let's just jump into it. And I know this entire, from fin point to fin point, is 6, which will be 12 by the time we multiply that times 2. But what I've done is I've tried to take these fins width out of the equation, and I've guessed, taking a centimeter for each fin, I'm left with a 4 centimeter width, and knowing that that would be the diameter, 4 times 3.14, which is pi, we'll get the circumference, which will wind up being 25.12, but we're just going to go ahead and clip it and make it 25.1. So basically, I'm going to figure out that I probably, well, I'm going to be close. I'm going to take a wild guess since this is a pattern. This looks like it's a straight edge. And the height of this thing is 2.5 centimeters. So what I'm going to do is double that, which means this will be 5 on our project. And I'm going to double that and just make it 10 high. So basically what I have to do is 10 high. Go ahead and mark here. Down here, do the same thing, 10 high. Ooh, it's getting kind of close. Then we'll whip out magic 8 foot long metal straight edge. So alright, now according to our calculations, made 25.12. Which we're just going to go ahead and do 25.1. maybe enough scrap to make a pattern out of for a fin. Alright, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to tape this together real quick. Give me kind of a guesstimation of how my pattern's going to look. Well, oh, that's terrible. Oh. According to this, that's supposed to be 8. Tell you what I'm going to do. Well, what I'm going to do, see how close this is going to work. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, it'd be alright. Looks like it'll, well, if I don't tear it up, looks like it'll be alright. Let's see, I think I'm not, yeah, close enough. Well, let's go ahead and grab this cardboard. Well, that's amazing. That's almost a perfect fit. Don't stick the razor blade in my face first. Okay. These scissors, we can just whack this bad boy up. Well, go ahead and see if we can fold this, which don't look very foldable. Oh, that's terrible. Of course, everything slides down. See if we can't do a little more. Well, at least it ain't against the grain. Oh, that looks terrible. What's going to happen? Well, what I'm going to do here is go ahead and press down on this. Pull it. What we'll do, I'll go ahead and put another piece of cardboard in there. So, well, I'm stuck. I have an idea. Just add 2 more centimeters. So. Oh, but try this again. There we go. Well, looking. I'm just going to go ahead and put this in the middle. This is a Dollar General tape roll. So put this in the middle. That way to make life easier for me. Looks good. Now, maybe I can grab a here with this. Now that we're on an angle, let's just go ahead and see what this will look like. If I get my hand on it. Give or take. Let's see. Hop up here. I don't reckon it's too tall. It'll look good, I reckon. Yeah, we'll go ahead and try that. So. Well, whoop out our magic. Whoop out our magic compass, if we can find. Get glue all over everything. Let's see. 9 centimeters. Alright. Make sure everything's right. 6 centimeter. Because it's a 12 it's a 12 centimeter diameter base up on the bottom. Lordy. That's enough to make somebody go cocoa puffs. Let's see. Alright. Yep. Lose mine. Alright. I'm really not trying to lose my mind here. I'm just kind of gets a bit aggravated. But watching me, maybe if you decide to make one, it'll make your life a little easier. Okie dokie. What I'm going to do, since that sets above and it's not going to set flush, I'm going to go ahead and cut a hole here so this will set like an upside down stovepipe hat. So we'll just go ahead and 8 centimeters. So that'd be 4 centimeters. Let's see, 4. This poor old pencil's got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. Alright, so what I'm going to do, same hole, just, whoops. It's going to be close enough, I hope. All I'm going to do, try to make life easier, is just cut a couple straight lines. Remove as much material as possible with the least amount of work. You would actually think that cardboard would be easy. I mean, I understand it kills the razor blade, but you would figure just the act of cutting it would be no harder than cutting paper. And of course not. Be careful if you try to put your blade all the way through where it's come through, not to cut your fingers off. Because this is just ridiculous. I mean, I've got to... so we can go ahead and You would almost think this would be easier. And then again, blade don't go through. So you have to wind up cutting it 155 times. And it still looks like crap. And if you pull too hard, like I'm about to do, all you're going to do is cause it to bend. So, but don't get aggravated, because if you're attempting to do this, you're aggravated. You're going to wind up what I'm going to do before I realize it. I'm going to whack a finger off. Don't need to be running around with no fingers. Well, it's not fitting, so just take just a very small amount, which, as you can see, it's done dulled it where you can't even cut through the whole thing now. So that one's dull. No time. Whoops. I just have a wild idea. I'm gonna cut something. I'm gonna cut it deep when I do. All right. Go ahead and try to trim this, which makes it look like a mess. What I'm doing, I didn't get exactly all of the pencil line cut out, so that's what I'm doing. Take your time, very, very careful, and take your time if you're doing this. Like I said, I shouldn't even be cutting toward myself, but it does give you more. It does give you more control of the blade. It's just if it slips, you're just going to be in a mess. So. Do here, I'm just going to take a pencil outline and see if I can cut a little more toward the edge without cutting too much out. And when you're taking a little bit of material off like this at a time, make one cut, then test fit. Because you don't want to, it's easier to cut material off than it is to try and replace it, so. Which I don't understand. I took a measurement, used the compass, measured 3 times. And get a good look at this, and it actually looks kind of warped. Since I messed up on my line here, I'm just going to go ahead and remark it for 12. Which hopefully is what it is, but it's probably not. Well, of course not. Which is marked for 8, which is what that pedestal is. We've made our proper stand. We'll come back. I'm going to go ahead and save myself aggravation. I'm going to glue this thing on. And then when we come back, when it's dry, I'll go ahead and we'll work with the fins. Just a quick update. I've glued the base on. It's going to look fairly decent. But with the fins, it was 27.5 millimeters around, or centimeters. So what I did, I went ahead and divided that until I got an even number. 9 fins is going to be equally spaced, give or take 3 centimeters. It's going to be, one of them's going to be off just a hair. You won't be able to know it. But what I done is I went ahead and I just took a piece of poster board, cut it to the proper length, and mark off every 3 centimeters. I just slid it down, as you can see, made 9 little marks. And what I've done here is I've lined up this one here, because there's a small gap here because it's not perfect. But what I did here is just went ahead, lined this one up, so this gap lines up with this one. And then what I've done is made a mark here and just lined up the lines. So what I'm going to do here real quick is show you, just kind of line it up. And if this, hopefully they'll be straight. If not, you can go back and either mark them again or just move them, and eyeball them up to be in the vertical position. Now what I'm going to do here is I just do it with the, because it's quick, I just line it up. Just kind of line it up. What I'm going to do here is kind of line it up, or you get the idea. So next time we'll come back and see about putting on the fins. Alright, we're going to jump in here real quick and see if we can't get a pattern going. And I'm going to take a wild guess and say I'm probably going to have to do each pattern by hand, which is no problem. We're just going to go ahead and try one real quick, see what we can. We're going to do one real quick, that way you'll get the hang of it. Then we'll turn around and move on to something else. And find some pencils. And find some ruler. And a straight edge. So what I'm just going to do here is, like normal, just draw a straight line and work from that. I measured it's going to be, to give us a little extra room, it'll be 10 high. And then it'll be 5 wide. So we'll go ahead and mark 10 high. And we're going to guesstimate here. And we'll go up here and get our second mark. 10 by 5, so we'll go ahead and pick up our scissors. Move my trash can out of the way. Everything don't fall in it. It'll fall on the floor. Alright. I'm not going to worry about that crooked edge because it's going to be messed up anyway, so it's kind of a adjust the seat. Alright. Well, this looks tall enough. Let's see, what I'm going to do is on the flat edge here, I'm just going to line everything up with my line that I made previously. And what I'm going to do is lose my pencil again, find the pencil again. And what I'm going to do is mark this out. Then I'm going to bring it out and put it just a little bit bigger, not much. I don't want too much of a gap. Something I can't fill up with. Glue. So what I'm going to do is, well, I'm just going to go ahead and eyeball it and snip. Eyeball it and snip. And I'm going to fit it in, and it's just a hair too high, but like I said, we're just going to eyeball it. And what we're going to do, oh, that's perfect. Alright. Like I said, it's kind of hard to measure, but what I'm going to do is leave this lined up. Find the pencil. Here, where I've marked it out to the 12, I'm just going to go ahead and mark it. And then I'm going, put me an arrow here so I don't do what I just did. Yeah, it's good right there. Then I'm going to mark it here at the bottom. And try to make a half straight line anyway. So what I'm going to do is just kind of, let's see, off my paper. Let's see here. I'm going to take a wild guess this and say it's 1, so it'll be 2. Yeah, that's 2. So that's right. So I'm going to put me a little circle there. And then 0.8, which will be 1.6. Alright. Go ahead and make a 1.6 mark. Like I said, I'm just going to use this here kind of as a guide. And no, that does not look right at all. Does not look right. Well, let's try it with this less beat up piece of plastic. Oh, that looks a lot better. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, well, first of all, let's measure our angle down, which will be about a half, which means 1. So we'll measure down 1. don't look right. Or it don't look good anyway. Oh, well, wait a minute. I know, hold on one second. Let's do some measuring. Would be 3.85 guesstimation. So we'll go ahead and line our lines up. And what we'll do here, we'll just go ahead and snip. Let's see. Alright, I'm just going to turn it in the middle. Just going to go ahead and try. That. That actually looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and do one real quick. Not going to glue it, just going to lay it in place. And see how that works. Yes, that's pretty good. Grab us a piece here. Well, since this don't matter too bad, I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Since I don't need to worry about trying to roll it up or adjust it, we'll just go ahead and use it like this, and we'll go ahead and, well, I'll get it off the cardboard, one more page. And let's go ahead and grab Woody out once again and knock stuff on the floor as usual. I'm going to leave that down there for the time being. And pretty much going to say when I turn to step, I'm going to step on the glue, either bust the bottle or squirt everything out since it's already opened. Can't keep nothing up here. Let's see. If you're cutting this, like I said, don't do like me and cut towards yourself. And be careful because of the rise of the paper inside. Actually, you'll feel the knife jump up and down. Well, I didn't step on it or squish it, but I kicked it. And there we go. And let's see if we can try to get this up in here where you can see it. Let's see. We'll go like that, and that'll be, well, one down, 8 to go. When I come back, I'll have all of these fins. I'll go ahead and have these fins put on. I'll have everything papered up. We're ready to start painting. Alright, just a quick update here. Excuse me. The way this stand sits here is only going to be 5 centimeters tall. But when doing it, I actually made it 10. And it looks, to me, it looks kind of weird. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back. This thing always lets you notice on the angle. what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cut this like here at 5 and leave it at 5. What I'm doing, I'm just going to make since I have a pattern, I'm going to make a piece cardboard, the circumference of the bottom plate of the Hall of Doom, and I'm just going to paint it like water and paint these ripples. That way it can actually act as the base. So like I said, just a quick change in plans and a quick update. What I've decided to do, instead of making a long stand, which looks terribly tacky, I'm just going to take this area here up under the swamp, and I'm just going to cut out a circular base, same size as the bottom of the Hall of Doom, and just going to paper it up real quick and paint it. So let's go ahead and make our pattern. Since we kept the pattern from the bottom of the Hall of Doom, all we're going to need real quick is just whoop out a piece of cardboard. Since we already have the pattern, we'll just go ahead and make us a giant circle. Whoop. Simple enough. Seems simple enough, I guess. There we go, that'll be the bottom. Let's go ahead and trim this real quick. Got Woody again. Can't believe it, I'm actually getting to the point where I'm almost completed one. I have 9 projects going on right now. 9. And looks like this one may be the first one I actually finish. So, it's not going to turn out too good. Go ahead and cut this with a straight razor. Same thing on our first cut, just kind of gently cut into it. That way we don't break a blade or waste our cardboard. Or on my luck, mash too hard and cut a finger off. So what I'm going to do, well, I should do it now. When I get this cut out, I'm going to lay the pattern back over. That way I can use that center dot, because not only am I going to use that center dot to center up the Hall of Doom to set on this, I'm going to use the compass and go back and kind of make guesstimations of the ripple effect. That way it'll look like it has ripples up under the water rising. So I think this blade here is done become another victim of the cardboard. If anybody really wanted to make some money, if you could make a razor blade that would cut through cardboard and not get instantly dull, you would be a millionaire 20 minutes after it hit the market. And like I said, what I'm doing here is just cutting this scrap. I don't think I'm going to need nothing that big or that small. So Remember, recycle. That way you don't have too much mess in your trash can. So you just kind of guesstimate. Close enough. Just take your nail, punch a hole in it. I'll read it. Whee! And a crooked wheel, as you can tell. Yeah, missed right there. But it's not going to matter too bad. Alright, put our pattern aside. And this will be the actual final piece of cut. And what it's going to look like is I'm just going to go ahead and paper this over and show you what it looks like all papered up before I start painting. Alright, what we got here is our finished Hall of Doom. Maybe kind of hard to look at like this. I ain't painted it. I have got a small blotch on top where I painted about a week ago before I got it finished. But this is the completed Hall of Doom. It's kind of hard to see up on there, but I have fins and everything. It's done. It's ready to be painted. So this here is actual thing being done. As you can see, I got kind of crap in my building, but this, oh, sorry. This is pretty much the Hall of Doom. Alright, and with that, I'm going to wrap this video up real quick and say thank you. And when I come back, this thing will be completely painted and glued together. And another project will be in the book for Cardboard Kenny. Thank you for watching. Alright, after a couple hours of aggravation and painting, this is what the Hall of Doom looks like. And I'm going to attempt here to kind of hold back. We're going to kill myself. We're just going to spin this on the chair here. Give you a nice view of what everything looks like. All painted around and such. And it has all the faces painted. And kind of spin around to the front here again. Got one more little bit turn. And whoop, don't want to make too much of a mess. There's a complete revolution, and even up under there, it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, I'll just pick it up. As you can see, I've painted the underside of it, the little ridges, and I got little water vapors from the picture. And after a good amount of time and effort, there's the Hall of Doom. One more project for the books. Thank you for watching and have a good day. See you next project. Cardboard Kenny out.